I wanted to build a more empathetic link to humans and bacteria, something we don't often think about as a peer, by giving it a face. My name's Yitong Tseo. I'm a PhD researcher at MIT. I'm here, very lucky to be here this summer as a visiting resident in the Futurelab, and I've had the wonderful opportunity to create this work with everyone there. This is my piece. It's on microbial archaeology. I was very inspired by this strain of bacteria we've been working with for 6 years, 8,000 generations. This is very old bacteria. Humans have been around for roughly 8,000 generations. This is roughly the same span as human existence. And so I wanted to snapshot this bacteria across its evolutionary journey. I first became interested in this work because I've been working in this lab that works with this bacteria for a couple of years now. And I realized I don't know anything about this bacteria. All I do is I feed it and I put it in test tubes and I put it in the incubator and I let it grow. But I don't know much about its experience. And I started thinking about it more, and this bacteria must have had an extremely long evolution. The bacteria must have experienced societal collapses and cultural, births and all this stuff. And so I wanted to build a more empathetic link to humans and bacteria, something we don't often think about as a peer, by giving it a face. And in doing so, I've actually sequenced the bacteria across the years and built a bank of the DNA information of the bacteria. And I learned how it changes and the structure of a DNA changes. So I built these 4 bioreactors as well as 1 large bioreactor in the back. This is a newly patented system that I've just developed that can mist nutrients onto any 3-dimensional mold and create a 3-dimensional structure from that mold. Using this, I've created 4 masks of my face evolving over time to match the evolution of the bacteria. So this is the starting face. And as it progresses, it becomes more and more warped until you get this end face. And the way it warps is based off the genes of the bacteria itself. So across the 6 years, the genes evolve and mutate much faster than human genes do. And so you can see that stretch and pull my face depending on how far the genes change. Now we can have a human-to-human empathetic understanding of the bacteria. We can look them in the eyes and see them as a person, see their face. And I'm very interested in this idea of interspecies empathy and understanding through this lens. Each mask has a colony of bacteria, the same bacteria that's in kombucha, that creates this living skin on the mask. And so over the course of the festival, my bioreactors constantly feed the masks, keep them alive. And as the festival progresses, the attendants can see the masks grow and change. In some ways, this project is like the Hydra. There's a huge tank in the back that can hold 700 liters of nutrients that feeds a living body. And the body then has 4 tubes coming out of its neck. And the 4 tubes then connect to the heads and feed the heads. So it's one body with 4 heads. At the end of the festival, I will open up the tank, and then whoever wants to can have some of the kombucha that's been growing for the 5 days of the festival. What I'm very excited about is trying to bridge the divide between species, and I think humans are too self-centered. It's nice to get an idea of how other things experience the world around us too.